We've got some amazing news, and here to tell us about it himself is our friend, Avi Yemini. Avi, great to see you. Thanks for getting up very early in the morning, time zone-wise, to do this interview. I appreciate it. How you doing? That burned me up just to see that again, and how they said you got a fake ID and how they manhandled you. And the video gets worse, by the way. But you've got some good news, don't you?
Absolutely. We've had our very first win on this matter, which has been a long time coming. That was in the beginning of 2021. And even just watching it back there, Ezra, it shocks me like it happened, as if it happened yesterday. Now, the government has been trying to stop this for months, because behind the scenes we've been fighting this and trying to get in there. And they've been dragging their feet. And not only that, they've tried to get the court to drag their feet. But yesterday, thankfully, we had a really big win that the court has ruled that this is going to be expedited from here on in.
So they're fighting against you. The cops are banning you. Premier Dan Andrews, and when I say he's a communist, I'm not saying that as an insult, even though I find it a negative attribute of someone. He really is a sympathizer for Communist China. He went to Beijing. He signed a secret treaty with them to put Victoria under the Belt and Road colonization plan. It had to be rebuked from the federal government of Australia. He really is a communist sympathizer. I'm not saying that as a meanie. He just is. He hates you. And so he's marshaled the whole power of the legislature to keep you out. We hired lawyers to get you in. And yesterday the court said the government can't delay any longer. We need the soonest possible court date possible. Is that a summary of what the judge said, basically?
Absolutely. And Ezra, it's not a conspiracy theory. In that video, if you go back and watch it, it was his staffer that ordered me being frog marched out of there. So it's outrageous, but the court sees the urgency in this, especially leading up to an election. So hopefully this is the first of many wins, not only in this specific matter, in all the matters we're running here. As we know, they can take a very long time. My case against the police is already a year and a half in. But now that this one's expedited, we expect to have some really big movement in the beginning of the year.
You know, it reminds me of when the Canadian government kept us out of the federal leaders debate. They did it in 2019. They tried it again in 2021. In both instances, we were able to get into court on a very expedited basis, like in a matter of days. And in both cases, it was a bit of a miracle. We won. And I got to tell you, Avi, that has given me a lot of hope, because if we would have lost that and all the other setbacks, I'd say, really, we've got no chance. But having the Federal Court of Canada say, no, this is wrong to keep out a journalist just because you don't like them, that gave me a lot of hope. And I'm hopeful, based on what happened in this court hearing yesterday, I'm hopeful they'll do the same for you. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.